to Talk with TAS. I'm your host, Dr. Teresa A. Smith, Dr. TAS, and today I'm honored to sit down with author Harold Noonie G. Ward and Tamara Johnson. Now, Harold is a powerhouse when it comes to crafting stories about resilience and how your circumstances don't define you. He's overcome a lot in his life, and his goal is to help other people do the same. Now, Tamara, I should say, she's the type of woman that helps folks build legacies. You know, she helped Noonie when he was crafting his book, and I'm going to try to pronounce the title correctly. Altogether. He's checking. Tell me how to say it right. Please say it right for me.
It's Altgale Gardens.
Altgale. See it again.
Altgale, yes.
Altgale Gardens. You know, I like to be transparent. Altgale Garden. And I do that because I want folks to understand that none of us are always hitting it right on the nail. And you have to always be willing to learn. And I'm always learning. And so Tamara is a legacy builder. And she's helped reshape what survival means. And she also wrote the foreword for Noonie's fourth book. So I want to welcome you both to Talk with TAS.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us here today.
Thank you. I want to jump right in. Now, this fourth book isn't about glamour. It's about reckoning. When you think of kids or young folks today reading this story, what do you hope that they will feel first? The fear, the empathy, or the power?
Well, I think feel all four at the same time. That's what I want them to feel, all four at the same time, because it's an excellent book. And the kids, especially kids that grew up in and they call it the hood or public housing, different things, they can relate to this. You know what I mean? They can really relate to it. It's more so than anybody else can relate to it because they live it every day. That's why. So, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Tamara, having written the foreword, what are you hoping that our young folks today, get from it when they read it that first time?
I will hope that they get the message that they have a choice and they do not have to be a product of their environment. Because to live in Altgale, they pretty much go through a lot. I wasn't born and raised there, but our backgrounds are similar, and we both made a choice to make a decision to not be a product of where we come from. So I want them to understand that there is life outside of that, and that there can be changes made within their life to become a better person.
I like that because you guys really complement each other, because if they get that fear and the empathy and then the power that exists in them, then hopefully they'll be able to see, I can make that choice. Even once I make the choice, it's not going to be an easy road, but I can make the choice and stay the course so that my circumstances that I may have been born into or that I was being raised within don't determine what my future is. And I think that's so important for all kids, but particularly our children who may have been born in the hood, as Noonie said. And, we're talking about Chicago, but we got quote unquote hoods everywhere.
Everywhere.
And all of these kids need to know that it doesn't mean that's what your life have to be.
Absolutely.
You have a choice. So thinking about that, and then I was thinking about financial literacy. It isn't a class. It's survival, because I'm in North Carolina and I used to work at our State Department of Ed. And I remember probably a decade ago now when they were talking about financial literacy for children or for students. And it was a class. But it isn't a class. It's a way of thinking. And for the kids that we're talking about in those communities, it is a way of survival. So Tamara, I should say, what's one financial lie perhaps our community still believes that holds us back, that keeps us in bondage?
You said what? Financial literacy lie?
Lie. This idea that it's got to be this in order for us to get this.
Okay. I would actually say you kind of got me with that one because I actually teach financial literacy. um, I'm trying to think of something I kind of can
Well,
narrow
let me
down.
rephrase it for you, Tamara.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that we assume people know and understand the significance of, but we don't understand the significance of. That kind of keeps us bound in a certain place.
Yeah, so I would say, and I'm hoping that I don't get off topic with this. A lot of people don't understand what happens inside of these communities, that is all bad because they only go off of what they see on the headlines. They don't actually know the people that's in the areas or in the community that's actually trying to um, mentor. And Noonie actually talks about that in the book where he kind of took the character Jaden under his wings to let him know that there was life outside of what he'd been through because he saw Jaden going down the wrong path. So on the headlines, you see Argyle and other communities as being, oh, this terrible neighborhood, don't go there. But there's also people that's good inside of those neighborhoods that's trying to change the trajectory of, the children that's already there.
Well, I want to keep us when the interview airs. I want to make sure we're right on points. I'm not going to name what I'm getting ready to say, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Culture is very important. And sometimes when people look at culture, they only see one slice of it. So when you talk about the community, I immediately think about the different businesses that have been the mainstay of our communities that sometimes external people frown on. So when you talk about life outside and how we can build, helping Jaden to understand how we can build, I'm getting what you're throwing down. Now, Noonie, using that as a kind of like a foundation, what's one truth that changed how you hustle legally? Given all of that, what's one truth that changed how you hustle legally? Because we know that you were, and you correct me if I've got it wrong, you were GD, which is gangster disciple, but you made that transition and you're trying to bring other people with you now. So what was the thing that helped you to hustle in a legal way now?
One way of thinking. If you change the way you think, you could change your life, period. You know what I mean? That was just my way of thinking. And me being a GD was really, to me, I know most people can't say that, it helped me because by me being who I was and over the people I was over, I flipped. I'm gonna tell you how I did this. When we was doing wrong, we was taking our money, right? And they was giving, we was giving it to me, right? I was doing concerts. I was building businesses, restaurants, all type of different things. So we took it to another level. That's the part we call growth and development with the gangster disciples. You know what I mean? That's the part I'm talking about. So I knew what I was going to do. I knew at an early age I couldn't follow instructions. So that's why I had to do it the way I need to do it. You know what I'm saying? So that way was the best way for me. And I tell everybody back and forth, you know what I mean? Don't knock that, man. The hustle game is totally different. But the last book, now not to get off the subject, like you said, the last book I wrote was me and 50 Cent. We wrote the book. He did the foreword for it, right? And it was about gangster numbers and prison numbers. And gangster numbers is, the first book was gangster, well, the gangster numbers book was first. It was like the hardcore streets is the same as the corporate world. They are the same. When I was in the penitentiary, I did everything I needed to do, and we hustled, did what we need to do. It's the same thing, the same type of hustle. But people don't understand that. You know what I mean? So that's basically what it was with me. I took things and did and flipped it, did something totally different. I'm not in the dope game no more, but that same mentality, I'm studying. I got all type of different businesses, you know what I'm saying? Security companies, all type of different things, making a lot of money. And I'm hiring all the people from the hood and from been to jail, everything else. So that's just me, you know what I mean?
Noonie, thank you for saying that. It's probably me and my sister. We always having these philosophical conversations about everything. But thank you for bringing that out for folks to hear. The same skill set that it takes for you to be in the street hustle, I'm gonna put it that way, is the same skills that are utilized in corporate America,
Yes.
but it's accepted there, but the end goal is the same.
Let me
And,
give you another perfect example with this. They did an article on me and what was that? Bloomberg. Now, you know, Bloomberg, you got to be rich to be in Bloomberg. So, you know what I mean? I wasn't rich at the time, you know what I mean? But they did the article on me for, what was his name? Chapo, El Chapo. You know, Chapo. Chapo did, you know, the Mexican mob, you know, Chapo, El Chapo. Well, anyway, Chapo did something I didn't know he did, right? The feds told me later on he did it. Okay, so what he did was he did from Mexico to Chicago 1.5 billion a year.
okay.
A year. But what he did was the gangster disciples, when you see them all over the world, I was my job. I put them there, every state, North Carolina, everywhere you see, I put them there. He followed me, and I never knew he was doing. I didn't know I was in the joint when he was doing it right. He took what I did and laid down drugs everywhere. Now, when we did the interview with them, right? The interview, they was asking questions, and I was like, man, why is I'm doing this interview for? And they told me. And then they asked the Fed people, like the Fed said, well, do he know? No, Noonie never knew that. Because if he knew that, we'd have arrested him. The point I'm trying to say is this here. He couldn't do 1.5 billion if the bankers, the lawyers, the judges, all of them, the politicians had to be involved in that. Because if you come from where I come from, Nook, Bobby, or anybody else, they lock you up for a nickel bag. He did 1.5 billion. Come on, make it make sense. That's all I'm saying. That show you the money, how he was making the money, and how he had helped the corporate world help them. That's what I said.
And thank you for bringing that out also, Noonie, because what it kind of goes to the other thing that I was fascinated by that I wanted folks to understand. You talk about leaving the block doesn't mean the block leaves you.
Yeah.
What I got from that is what you just said. The skills that you learn that on the block. Now, and you were astute enough that you know your money won't go last always. So
Right.
let me take that money that's coming in and
Do
use
something with
it an illegal way so that I got something else when that time of being on the street is gone. But you also talked about El Chapo, and I might be mispronouncing, but they'll get up with us. He also, if I'm understanding what you were saying, he basically took your roadmap and followed your roadmap with some help and made 1.5 billion. So
A year. A year.
A year, thank you. Because that
Yeah.
means something. A year.
Yeah.
Now let me clean
Yeah.
that up for folks who
Yeah.
trying to understand stuff here. If there's somebody who has worked out a process, it can be about anything, and it's a good process and it works, don't look at who the person was that created the process or who tried to give you advice. If it works, you might want to consider incorporating that process in what you're trying to do.
Well, he did it.
Come on here now. He did it. And that's
He did it.
1.5 billion a year, you see, keep saying.
Right.
I
He
understand.
did it.
Talking about a year, 1.5 billion. They getting with us now. Y'all come on here now. Now everyone sees the headline, but not the healing.
Mm-hmm.
I want you guys to work with me now. What's one private win that you both celebrated in 2025, or maybe something that you've already celebrated this year in 2026 that maybe you didn't post about? Because we don't tell everything all the time, but it meant the most to you. A win that you both not necessarily together, but you both have celebrated.
I'm gonna go first. She might not like what I'm about to say,
That's
but I'm
okay.
gonna go first. When I got her and had her on my team, that worked for me. That's just me. Because you can't do nothing without a black queen. She's smart, she educated, she's hood, she all that. You know what I mean? She ain't gonna want to say it, but I'm just saying that's what it was. A lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's you know what I mean. Still like today, he was telling me, wear your shirt, wear this, wear that, wear this, wear that. You know what I mean? Like that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm. That's see. And back in the day, and when we was in Africa, the queen took care of the business. You know what I mean? For had your back and forth, and the king did what he had to do. For me, because everything else I got all this. I could do all this. but don't have the person that got your back. That's just for me. Now I don't know what hers probably totally different. Mine was that's what it was for me.
Well, thank you. I like yours, Noonie. Tamara, can you pop that?
So I'm like, oh, all the time on social media. I post everything on social media. So I'm drawing a blank here when you ask that question. But what I can say is when Noonie came to me about this opportunity, I flat out said no.
Both projects.
Everything. I was
TV
like,
series, everything.
no, I did not want to go into the headlines. I did not want to be on TV. I did not want to be interviewed. I did not want to do anything. My mind was focusing on something completely different. So what I would say to answer that is pretty much partnering with him. I mean, we haven't posted that we're partners in this, but they do know that we have these projects that we're working on. So I will probably go with that.
Well, I like both of your answers, and I like what you said, Noonie, because I think women of color, because I can only talk about Black women of color, and we need Black men to state what you said, particularly in this time, because Black men sometimes get a bad rep, and Black women sometimes get a bad rep, but we had a role in history. And when you bring people together in partnership, and you know it's a real partnership. When somebody says, well, Teresa, I think you look nice in that, but for this, maybe you want to wear that instead. If I understand our role and we have come into agreement, I'm going to say, thank you so much. Let me go get that instead and put that on. That's the way we make strides and continue to make strides, because now we've come together and we got teams. And when teams are solid, they cannot bring us apart.
That's the whole deal. That's all I'm saying. I mean, team make the dream work. That's what I'm saying. And I mean, for real, that's the key part. It's been back there and it's just coming up now. People, I don't want to say the powers to be, broke us up and made the sister think this way, made the brother think this way. You know what I'm saying? In reality, come back like it's supposed to be. Once you get together, once you get the team together, that's it, man. It's over. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So.
I just like talking to you, Noonie, because that takes me to another point. You know how it is with these interviews. We got all these different questions, but you hit on something there. Now, generational trauma is real.
Absolutely.
So is generational potential. How do we teach people to dream beyond survival when survival is all that they've known? Because we've already begun to talk about it. Because when we come together, that's some generational trauma. But still, when we come together and are able to stay together, that's a potential. And sometimes the world don't want us to see our potential. They want us like this, but we really got solid potential regardless of where we're growing up in. So how do we help people, in particular our young people, because we building tomorrow's generations here, how do we help them to dream beyond what they see when all they see is, I'm just trying to survive, Miss Teresa?
Miss Teresa, one thing, and I'm going to say this, and I ain't going to flip it. If she tell her story, she don't want me to, if she tell her story, you will see a lot of young kids, people all over the world standing up, cheering the whole 9 years. She just don't want to tell it like she was, but she know I'm right. All jokes aside, if she tell her, go ahead. If she tell her story,
this is about him.
No, it's about us.
Don't want to.
No, but I'm just saying, no, it's about us. They know what's him. But I'm just saying, if she tell, but she probably ain't gonna tell her story. But to answer your question for me, leading by example. Okay, by me leading by example, most people see me. Like I remember this old song, not BB King, but BB, what's his name? What's his name? I'm a star in the ghetto. If I never make it to Hollywood, I'll be okay. Anyway, that's what they see. I'm a star in the ghetto all over, and I'm a star because I do what I need to do to get to the next level. But they see how I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I let them know and I'm a giver. I like to give, right? But when I give, I get a different people. I have people call me and now, doctors, lawyers, playing out there say, man, I remember you gave me a snakeskin cat. I mean, when we was at the kid, you took us to wrestling. I mean, you showed me different things that nobody else showed us in the hood, man. You know what I mean? And I did that. I did, and I paid for a lot of that stuff because I had it like that, right? But I was cool with that. But that led by example. And all these guys are police officers, are lawyers, doctors, everything. And they were like, dude, man, we love you. So when we did this, and she'll tell you how social media way stronger than that. But when we did this, because this book is tied to a TV series. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. So we're getting people coming from all over the world. Her inbox stay full, my inbox stay full. I mean, people come from all over the world. They say, man, you still doing it. That's how we do it. We lead by example. That's what I'm saying. We don't talk about it, but be about it.
I like that, Noonie.
But
and you're right. I'm gonna try to give it to Tamara. She don't want that. Please, Tamara. A little bit of it.
So what I would say is, for me, I grew up in a different part of Argyle. I grew up in Inglewood, which is essentially the same type of community, and same type of environment, gun violence, crime, rape, physical abuse, assault, everything. But for me, I am a nerd. I am an avid researcher. And if it wasn't for my music teacher in my sixth or seventh grade, that kind of took me under her wings to let me know that there was life outside of where I came from. Mm-hmm. She took me shopping. She bought me clothes. She bought me shoes. I even went to her house. We lived in an apartment. My mother had 9 children. And when I went to my music teacher's house, I thought it was a mansion because I never saw that before. And so for me, that's what kind of changed my mindset, that there is life outside of where I come from, because every building on that block was either 2-flat or a 3-flat building. I never saw a house, never saw a house. And so I really speak this into my daughter. I have a 12-year-old daughter. I take her to every place that I grew up in, and she will look so disgusted. But I wanted her to know that there's different paths of life that she can take. I also want her to know the struggle. I also want her to know that it exists, but I also want her to have her own mindset that this is not the path I want to go. This is where I want to be. And so, like, to answer your question, I know a lot of adults poured into me, and especially my grandfather. My grandfather basically told me, well, I told my grandfather that I wanted a life outside of where I was at. And so on his deathbed, he made my auntie promise him that I will graduate from college. And she didn't tell me that until I graduated from college, because I'm like, why is she stressing me out? Why is she doing this? But it was really my teachers, my aunt, my grandfather, and also I had a best friend in high school. She actually passed away in 2006. She was wearing Gucci and Louis Vuitton in the 9th grade. She actually changed my mindset too. And so I just challenge really children that I talk to just open up a little more, to explore different opportunities, because there is life outside of where they are. And sometimes, well, I used to, not anymore. I used to take kids to the show. I used to take them different places because I know that their parents not able to afford those type of things. And so I just want to pour into them like teachers and other people poured into me. And that's how we end up partnering with this, because we both have the same.
And let me say this: we did a toy drive, 400 toys, right? Yeah. So we went to the hood, right? She didn't want nobody to do this. And we got toys. I brought the toys. We brought them together. We went shopping together, everything. She wrapped every last one of them toys. Every last one of them toys. Kept putting them on toys and everything. And we had that in all their gardens, right? And we had up on. We had some challenges because people don't like when you're doing good. You know what I mean? So they tried to stop us, right? but we was on. They put us on. Understand? They try to put us on like on this stage, right? And they thought nobody would come. And one time she thought they weren't gonna come. I said, "Hey, oh, they coming, Tammy, because I'm here. They coming." I'm telling you, they came out the woodwork. She was like, "They coming." The Fox News was there, but they was coming out the woodwork and everything. And I told her this. I said, "Next year, this is what we're gonna do. Pink bikes, blue bikes, same bike, same what's in. You ain't gonna do no rapping. We ain't doing none of that." And I also said this here on the thing. We trying to do now. We gonna do it like during the summer, right? We doing a scholarship fund. I mean, we're doing a scholarship fund. Our name, we're doing a scholarship fund. So we giving back. That answer your question. That's what it is. We ain't talking about. We're giving back. And it's probably gonna be way more than that because the TV show and this book is just taking off. You know what I mean? Gonna take off. So that's to answer your question, Ms. Smith. As far as that, that's what you know. Some things that we do.
Well, first of all, let me say this. Tamara, thank you for listening to Noonie and sharing part of your story. People need to hear that.
Yeah.
Females need to know that there's somebody else who's beautiful, who's young, because you're a few days younger than me, and that she was able to do it, and she looks good, and she managed to get to college. And I applaud your aunt for doing what your grandfather wanted, and now you are the manifestation of his dream, and then you keep playing it forward. You see what I'm saying? That's so important. And so I was thinking as we were talking, or you guys were talking, your collaboration isn't just creative. It's corrective and it's rooted in lived experiences and a shared history. Well, you've talked about how you're able to give back to the community. So I want to see, Noonie, can you help other folks who may not be in the Chicago area? Because everybody can give back. Help them to understand how they can take their pain and their lived experiences and make it a purpose in the community that they want to help.
Like Tammy said, she said she should take the kids. And me too. You take them to the show, take them shop, take them here, take them see things that they never saw before. When I was taking them to the wrestling, Hulk Hogan just became famous. You know what I'm saying? But the whole guards went. And you know what the tripped out part was? I had more grown folks than kids. They were fighting over tickets. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So leading by example is what I'm saying. You ain't gotta have what we got, what we doing. You ain't gotta have none of that. You know what I mean? But little bits help. And if you help one or two people, I just say, oh man, that ain't cool one. But if you change one person's life, because that person can be the president. Because Barack Obama was in the guards with me. I had his back for 10 years. Nobody knew that. I was the security. It was me and him. He wasn't Barack. You know what I mean? And we did all this stuff together. Now look, he was president of the United States. And when he did that, I had every news, what's his name? He told, he said, interview him. That's who you need to interview. So I'm just saying, and God is blessed. So that's my part, like that. Tammy can say what she has to say, but I mean, just lead by example.
Yes. And I want to add too, my mom, my mom birthed 9 children. And we used to all pile up in the car, and she would take us to these neighborhoods, and she's been a bus driver forever. So now we have GPS. Back then we had the maps and stuff. So she used to always say, we're going to get in the car and get lost. And I used to be scared because where are we going? And she did. She took us to these areas where they had these big, beautiful houses. And she promised us as kids that we're going to get there. And eventually my mother did get there. She did. She was able to get that house and get all of us in there. Then right when she did that, I moved out. Because at that time I was 19 years old, and I just felt like I was just too grown to be there. But she finally got there, and I'm super excited for her for that, for doing that for us too. And so it really instilled in the household as well, So.
And I like that what she said, because see, my mother was a school teacher. My father was the head janitor of all Gilgons. That means he ran the whole project. So I ain't never wanted for nothing in my life. Our house used to be so immaculate, you know what I'm saying? Because my mother was a school teacher. Back then, they making money back and forth, you know what I mean? But I learned that from them, watching them by example, what they was doing. And that's what I'm saying. Anybody can be, like what Martin Luther King said, anybody can be great, because to serve, all you got to do is serve. He said, got that from Jesus. So that's what it is. That's how I feel.
Well, I like that. You're right. Everybody can be great. All they got to do is serve, because that's what
Sure.
Jesus came and did. And I want to say, Tamara, kudos to your mama. She was a good example. She kept working her plan, and she got you guys where she wanted to put her family. And that's, again, to hear, because we got so many stories of heroes and they're everyday heroes, but people never hear the story. And us regular folks who working every day, we need to know that there are other people like us who are able to turn their thens into their nows. And that's the reason why we have to keep sharing our stories. Now, let me say this, Noonie and Tam, y'all got a lot going on. The book, the series, there's probably gonna be a movie sometime soon.
It is.
That's the reason I'm throwing it out there. See, I put my
That's in the works.
Exactly. How do you, or what's one practice that you do a day or a week to kind of help you stay grounded as you're doing all of this? Because you're building a legacy for everybody.
You know what my key is? Oh, you want to go? Pray.
Definitely prayer.
Pray, but go ahead.
And we bump heads so much.
No.
Because he wakes up and calls me, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this, we got to do that. And my mind is just like, okay, all right. And then I forget because he hammers so much in me within 2 seconds. And so we're actually working out a plan where we're going to write this down. But definitely prayer.
That's what gets it through the day back and forth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she right, I do that. I do it like that back and forth. Because she'll turn around like, what is we doing today? You know what I mean? Like that. Plus she got a lot. Plus she got a lot of stuff she got going on too. She got a insurance agency. She got a tell it. This is every we tell it all. You know this is what it is. Tell it.
And so my days are long, and I can, at the end of the day, I just have to thank God for giving me more hours than 24 hours, because that's what it feels like. My day starts at 6 a.m. Some days it starts at 4:30 when I try to make it to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning. And so I have my mentees who I'm training. I have conference calls that I have to jump on. And sometimes my clients think that they can just call me and say, hey, are you free in 5 minutes? If you're not free in 5 minutes, we're going to pass. You got to pass up this opportunity. So here I am, pulling my schedule, making all these different changes and trying to get everything in. Plus, I have my 12-year-old daughter that needs to be fed. Now, thank God for Uber Eats and DoorDash, because sometimes I do not have the opportunity to cook. So yeah, it's like pulling teeth some days, but we definitely get it done.
Then plus we make it church Sunday, Wednesday,
every
Friday,
Sunday, every Wednesday.
Friday. So that's it. You got to have that spiritual base with God. If God ain't first, then nothing ain't gonna happen. So that's just how we do it. But somebody has to do it another way, but this is what we do. You know what I mean?
Well, I like the fact that you helping folks to remember, not that folks have forgotten, that some of the old ways are still important.
Right.
As you said, God, church, Sunday, if Wednesday night, if y'all do it one Wednesday, whatever night of the week they do it now, Monday, Friday, whatever, because we have to stay plugged into that source. Because without being plugged into the source,
ain't nothing happening. You lost already.
We already lost.
The jig is up. Already.
Come on here now, y'all better be listening to him. He preaching for those folks that need to hear it a different way. He preaching.
Right.
It's up.
Without God, we nothing.
We
absolutely
nothing at all. I want to wrap it up with this question, and we've sort of answered it already in everything that we've talked about. But if you could create a nationwide public service announcement for young people this spring. Am I tapping into something that y'all kind of?
No, I'm telling her.
No, he said you take this one. I said
No, you already been giving it to us, Noonie. I'm wrapping it up in that. Like, let me say it a different way. Okay. I believe that the next generation is very important for
Mhm.
all of us in the United States.
Yes.
Mhm.
If you were each in a room with an audience of young people, who are facing violence, maybe economic hardships, limited opportunity, people have made them believe that they don't have enough to be more than what they are. What words would you leave them with? What would your message be to that group?
Go ahead.
So I would say that, and I actually wrote this in the foreword, and it's basically your story. It shouldn't be about glorifying the struggle. It should be about your truth, the consequences you experience, the healing process also, and also the possibility of redemption.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I kind of manifest into my daughter each and every day is the power of manifestation, and also speaking positive affirmations as well. And so that's what I train her up to do now. And that's what I would pretty much talk about with the kids these days.
Noonie?
Me, I have to be like, I'm like from the hood back and forth, and I have to say little different things to them. First of all the things that you're doing now, how that's working out for you. You know what I mean? So, and then I tell them, you can't give up because only the strong survive and the weak fall to the side. You know what I'm saying? So you want to, if you look at the examples and all the examples that you got, I'm guarantee you got a bunch of examples how not to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to get some examples how to succeed. Watch other people. And I ain't talking about rappers. I ain't talking about none. I'm talking about people, period. And I ain't got nothing against it because, I got top guys, my homie from, Kanye, everybody, they're my guys. But they feel we have conversation. These be the conversations that we be having. And I be letting them know. You know what I mean? We got to put these kids and everything first. But, and I tell kids, every choice that you make, every decision that you make, there's consequences and you got to deal with it later on. I said, now, God, one thing, God, and I found this out. And I was asking God, I said, God, well, in circumstances, make this person do so and so, so and so. God, I said, I can't do that. That's one thing I can't do. I said, what you mean, God, I can't do? He said, I gave you free will. I can't take your free will from you. And so that's why whatever you do, that's yours. Because when you come in front of me, you can't say, God, you said you did this. Like, no. You did that one on your own. All right, I'm going to judge you for what you did. You know what I'm saying? So I let people know for every decision that you make, you just got to think about what you do. And whenever you do, you got to think about it. You got to think about what you're doing because if you don't think about it, because before you do it, it's a thought before you do it anyway. Because I had a lot of times, I would have been back in the penitentiary. I was like,
Yes.
this ain't nothing here. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's all I let them know. You can make it. You can strive. Ain't nobody, everybody, God said, man, they created every man the same, every man and woman the same. You got the same choices I got. It's just what you decide to do. You know what I'm saying? Some people want it, some people don't want it. Like now, how I do mine, now me being over, well, I ain't gonna say it because it's still an interview. People get to watch it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Over a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm by myself. And there's some, let me just stop talking. I mean, just I'm the fan like that. But I'm just saying, basically, it's what you do in life. It ain't what you do. My mom say it's how you do it.
It's how you do it.
There you
And
Well,
pretty much where you are now does not determine your future.
Yeah.
Once you start pouring into people and telling your story,
Yes.
and some of what I've been through may resonate with some of the children.
There you go. That's why I tell her she got to tell her story. But she, what I mean, I be telling her you need to tell your story. You know what I mean, for real. I told her you need to write a book, and I'll do your foreword.
Come on.
I did. I told her before.
You heard it here on Talk with Todd.
I said, do your foreword, and then we turned that into a TV series,
Yes.
and we turned it to a movie or something.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I be trying to tell her, you know what I mean, but just need my example. But one day she'll get it. You know what I mean? Because you got just gotta put that out there like that. Once you put it out there like that, then Tammy will see it, and then she'll grab it, and then she'll run with it. You know what I mean?
And he's not the first person that told me that.
Well, two or more join in his presence.
Yeah.
That's what it
It's
says.
gonna happen because
First day.
it will happen. And I believe that as you continue to walk your path, Tammy, that you'll see the support is there,
Absolutely.
and that
Yeah,
folks
now,
are really genuinely trying to help you to get that message out to folks.
she know that's what I'm there for. I told her, she know that. She done saw all the resources and everything I got. You want the resources, Miss Smith. She's seeing all this here back and forth. We got so many interviews going on. We got a book tour, state to state. You know what I mean? That ain't even counting what we finna do with the TV series. You know, that's gonna be all over. What's that? So I'm just saying, she said, you know, it is what it is. And I told her, I said, this is like a platform. Like when I was with Dr. Dre, Dr. Dre, my man, and Snoop Dogg. When he did what he had to do, put him on the Chronic album, right? That's how Snoop did his album, but Snoop shipped platinum. That means, you know, he's right. I'm telling her, I'm Dr. Dre, she's Snoop. You know what I'm saying? All she got to do is, you know what I mean? Because they know who she is for what's going on.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But, you know, yeah. So we appreciate you having us on here. You know what I mean?
I enjoyed having you guys. I feel like I've been just having conversation with folks that I have known forever. And I believe, because I believe God does everything
Yes, divine
in order,
yes.
that the folks that needed what we have discussed, when they hear it the way that we've talked about it, it will ignite in them to get up off the bench, to get off,
Yes.
get moving.
Moving. Absolutely.
So how can the folks stay in touch with you guys? Because I know people want to keep following you and see what's going on and know about the TV show and the movie and all these different things you got happening.
Yeah, so I mainly post on my Facebook, which is under Tamara Johnson. There may be a lot of Tamara Johnson on there, but this face is one of a kind. Also, too, I have a Instagram. It's @_officially Tamara.
Mine is Facebook, Harold Noonie Ward, but it's the picture of me and Dr. Dre on there because I got like 3 of them right now. I got a YouTube and I got a face. I mean, what you call it? I think it's my IG is like the real Noonie G or something like that. Like I think that's it, right? I mean, but I really don't know because I don't even go on there back and forth. But I'm sorry, I'm supposed to have this now fact, but Kitty gonna kill me. But but I know the YouTube channel and everything else. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Plus, my social media ain't nowhere. I got a lot of people right, but I ain't nothing like hers. She got a man. You know what I'm saying? So they can catch us there, right? We tag each other, so either way it go. You know what I'm saying? You see how you see me. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you, I have so enjoyed having you, Noonie, and having you, Tammy, on Talk with TAS today. This has been a blessing for me, and I believe it's going to bless other people. And to my audience, you know the deal. Before you go trying to take care of someone else, please make sure you take care of yourself first. Bye now.